I'm going to show how you can install your BoilerBot's SHP4 amplifier into a band shell. So we've got a Firestar band shell here, and that's what I've used to develop this modification for my SHP4. So we've got these two hinges here, and this allows it to go into the original amplifier mounting position that's in the machine. So you just get it like that. You just drop it down, lock it in. You route your cables. Just put in my power. You'll get new speaker cables to run, so you don't have to use the old ones. Put in the high frequency horns. We put in the woofer connections. We put in this connection for the solenoid for the reject. Put in the phono. And I provide a new remote for the rear volume. Plug this in here. Oops. I'm putting it in the right way. There we go. All right, well, that's it. Of course, you would strap all this stuff down, but let's test it. And the amplifier is ready to go, so we're gonna play a song. So in this song, in the amplifier, we've got a bass control, so you can turn the bass down. You can turn the bass up. It's near the middle. We've got treble control. Turn the treble up. You can turn the treble down. Put that back to the middle. This is the volume. If you don't want to use a rear volume, you can connect this potentiometer up, and then you can have an internal volume control. So now you might be asking yourself, hey, that's a great amplifier, but what's up with your wiring? Well, let me go over the wiring. So, like I said previously, you have a new cable that comes with the amplifier. One goes to your high frequency horns, one goes to your low frequency subwoofers. So, how does all this work? So, first you're gonna run these wires back into the cabinet, and for your horns, you're just gonna run it up and connect it to the back of that horn, and you're gonna run the other one and bring it up, and you're gonna connect it to the back of this horn. Okay. Now, next, there's a rear volume control. So what is the rear volume control? Well, let me show you. So you see this board right here, I'm gonna supply this board with this cable. So this is where the original rear volume went. So what you need to do is take your rear volume assembly, which looks like this, and notice it doesn't have a reject, but this is like bolted on to the back of the USC. So you remove the two nuts, because the studs are actually welded to the back of the cabinet. So you remove the nuts, and you just leave all the cables attached for now, and the reason why we have to do this is because this cable right here is actually the phono signal, and the phono signal comes up and it passes through this connector, and I don't have a way to replace this. So you take this and you just tuck it in to the back of the machine like this, and then you're going to attach the rear volume. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, we're around back of the my Firestar here, and I'm going to show you the rear volume kit. So my rear volume kit looks like this. So I'm going to give you a bracket that I 3D print, and this is the potentiometer coming through from the circuit board. So this controls your volume, and this is a reject button that I've added, so you can reject the records, and it just makes the assembly a lot tighter and neater. And finally, your wires for the low frequency drivers, your 12-inch drivers down in the bottom of the cabinet. So these are the wires that you drop down the back from up above where the amplifier is. And we run these down and we go through this hole here that just goes down into the lower cabinet. So you can see that here. And then I'm not going to be able to show this right now because I don't want to take my machine apart, but on the Firestar and the USC1, you remove your lower grill, which is like these screws up along here, and there's some screws that you loosen and you can pop this out, and this will access the front of your woofers. And then you need to just take one of the woofers, the screws out, carefully remove it from the cabinet. You're just gonna grab the wires and pull them forward, and then you're gonna plug them into your woofers, mount the back in, test it. Once it works, put it all back together. Okay, so just to review one more time, because you saw how easy it was to lock the amplifier in and clip it into the original location of your USC band shell machine. So in addition to just locking the amplifier in, you need to route your cable for your horns. Just run it underneath here. Route your cable for your woofers. Run it here, drop it down. Here's your original phono that just plugs in. Here's your original cable harness that has the MEC connector, which I've created like a custom connector that this plugs into. And then these are your original speaker wires, and we can't use these, so just tape them up and put it out of the way. You're also gonna fish this mini 6-pin DIN connector that I supply, which is what we use for my rear volume. So this is just a PS2 keyboard extender, but it's a really handy cable to buy. So I supply it in the kit, and that just goes down here, and it's got 6 feet to it, so it plugs in back there, and that's real simple. And of course your AC cable is going to just plug in to your non-polarized AC outlet. So I will supply all that in the kit.